Find Senior Citizen Info by U.S. State. Chapter 1. An American Senior Citizen Guide. United States Senior by State. Generally, there are several places to go in your area for help and information. Firstly, there are your state senior agencies which are mandated by law to provide seniors with non-medical services such as home-delivered meals, free transportation to the doctor's office, etc., and they're required to serve as information clearing and referral houses for medical needs. Many have case workers who will attend to individual seniors' needs. Beyond them, there are senior centers, senior organizations, the library, civic clubs, hospital, social organizations, religious organizations, and church clubs, many of which you can find in your local phone book. Most local communities and counties have their own particular area agencies on aging, so the wise thing to do is to contact your state office or look in your local phone book to find the area office closest to you, then proceed from there, asking them for general resources to help you get through life. Many of these agencies have guardianship of private grant programs and funds particular to their communities that are set aside for needy seniors, but they're not going to jump out to help you. You have to take the initiative and ask about them. Then when applying, be ready to endure miles of red tape. It's the nature of the beast, but if you are persistent, in the end, you'll get the money or the help you want. Some will give you monthly allotments for life. U.S. Senior Citizen Local Networks. aoa.gov/aoa/pages/state.html, area agencies on aging. retirementcommunity.com/category/senior-centers. NASUAD.org, Association of States United for Aging and Disabilities, is a non-profit association representing the nation's 56 officially designated state and territorial agencies on aging. National Association of State Units of Aging. 1201, 15th St. Northwest. Number 320. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-898-2578. Fax, 202-898-2583. Staff at NASUA.org. NASUA.org. National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. 927, 15th St. Northwest. 6th FL. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-296-8130. Fax, 202-296-8134. Eldercare.com. 800-677-1116, Eldercare Locator, NFA.org, will tell you addresses of local organizations. Senior links by state. Try these formulas. aarp.org/states/ aarp.org/states/al aarp.org/states/mi aarp.org/states/wv eldercareoptions.org/senior_citizen_centers.html eldercareoptions.org/senior_citizen_centers-alabama.html eldercareoptions.org/senior_citizen_centers-texas.html elderweb.com/home/regions/ elderweb.com/home/regions/Alabama elderweb.com/home/regions/North Dakota findsnirums.com/search/ findsenioromes.com/search/Alabama findsenioromes.com/search/West-Virginia geriatricerpractice.com/senior citizens centers organizations/ geriatriccarepractice.com/senior-citizens-centers-organizations/Alabama geriatriccarepractice.com/senior-citizens-centers-organizations/Puerto Rico HUD.gov/local/homeownership/seniors.cfm, Housing Resources for Seniors. HUD.gov/local/al/homeownership/seniors.cfm, Housing Resources for Seniors. HUD.gov/local/mo/homeownership/seniors.cfm, Housing Resources for Seniors. magicyellow.com/category/senior_citizens_service_organizations/state_html. magicyellow.com/category/senior_citizens_service_organizations/state_al.html. magicyellow.com/category/senior_citizens_service_organizations/state_vt.html. newlifestyles.com/state-search/senior centers. newlifestyles.com/state-search/Alabama/senior centers. newlifestyles.com/state-search/Nebraska/senior centers. retirementcommunity.com/category/senior centers/senior centers/. retirementcommunity.com/category/senior-centers/Alabama-senior-centers. retirementcommunity.com/category/senior-centers/Idaho-senior-centers. roomserviceursa.com/services/senior_services/. roomserviceusa.com/services/senior_services/Alabama. roomserviceusa.com/services/senior_services/Montana. roomserviceusa.com/services/senior_services/West_Virginia. seniorcarejobs.org/senior_citizen_centers.html. seniorcarejobs.org/senior_citizens_centers-alabama.html. seniorcarejobs.org/senior_citizen_centers-texas.html. seniorcitizensguide.com/. seniorcitizensguide.com/Alabama. seniorcitizensguide.com/Connecticut. seniorhousing.bot.org/states/seniorhousing.botw.org/states/Alabama. seniorhousing.bot.w.org/states/Maine. seniormag.com/residence/. seniormag.com/residence/al. seniormag.com/residence/ca. To compare healthcare.com/nhs/senior_citizens_home.html. ucomparehealthcare.com/nhs/alabama/senior_citizens_home.html. ucomparehealthcare.com/NHS/South_Dakota/senior_citizens_home.html. yellowbook.com/category/senior citizens/organizations/entire state/. yellowbook.com/category/senior-citizens-organizations/Alabama/entire-state. yellowbook.com/category/senior citizen daycare/. yellowbook.com/category/senior-citizen-day-care/Alabama. yellowbook.com/category/senior-citizen-day-care/Rhode-Island. yoursrc.com/senior-services/. yoursrg.com/senior-services/Alabama. yoursrg.com/senior-services/Pennsylvania. yoursrg.com/senior-services/South-Dakota, statewide consumer housing and healthcare guide. State agencies for the aging. 1. Generally, there are several places to go in your area for help and information. Firstly, there are your state senior agencies, which are mandated by law to provide seniors with non-medical services such as home-delivered meals, free transportation to the doctor's office, etc., and they're required to serve as information clearing and referral houses for medical needs. Many have case workers who will attend to individual seniors' needs. Beyond them, there are senior centers, senior organizations, the library, civic clubs, hospital, social organizations, religious organizations, and church clubs, many of which you can find in your local phone book. Most local communities and counties have their own particular area agencies on aging, so the wise thing to do is to contact your state office or look in your local phone book to find the area office closest to you, then proceed from there, asking them for general resources to help you get through life. Many of these agencies have guardianship of private grant programs and funds particular to their communities that are set aside for needy seniors, but they're not going to jump out to help you. You have to take the initiative and ask about them. Then when applying, be ready to endure miles of red tape. It's the nature of the beast, but if you are persistent, in the end, you'll get the money or the help you want. Some will give you monthly allotments for life. Finally, when writing to the following, preface your letter with, State Department of Senior Affairs. aoa.gov/aoa/pages/state.html, area agencies on aging. longtermcaresource.org/aging-departments.html. nasuad.org, Association of States United for Aging and Disabilities, is a non-profit association representing the nation's 56 officially designated state and territorial agencies on aging. National Association of State Units of Aging. 1201, 15th St. Northwest. Number 320. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-898-2578. Fax, 202-898-2583. Staff at nasuad.org. nasuad.org. National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. 927, 15th St. Northwest. 6th FL. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-296-8130. Fax, 202-296-8134. eldercare.com. 800-677-1116, Eldercare Locator, nfa.org, will tell you addresses of local organizations. Alabama State Agency for the Aging. 770 Washington Avenue. Number 470. RSA Plaza. Montgomery, Alabama 36130. 334-242-5743. Fax, 334-242-5594. 800-243-5463 AL only. 800 AgeLine. ADSs.state.al.us. Alaska State Agency for the Aging. 333 Willoughby Avenue. POG 110209. Juneau, Alaska 99811. 907-465-3250. Fax, 907-465-4716. AlaskaAging.org. Arizona State Agency for the Aging. Department of Economic Security. 1789 W. Jefferson. 950A. Phoenix, Arizona 85007. 602-542-4446. 800-362-3474 AZ only. Fax, 602-542-6575. de.state.az. Arkansas State Agency for the Aging. Department of Human Services. 7th and Main STS. POG 1437. Number 1412. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. 501-682-8150. Fax, 501-682-8155. 800-482-8049. state.ar/us/dhs/index2.html. accessarkansas.org. California State Agency for the Aging. 1600 KST. Sacramento, California 95814. 800-510-2020. 916-322-3888. Fax, 916-324-1903. aging.state.ca.us. Los Angeles. 800-634-6516. San Diego. 619-560-2500. Colorado State Agency for the Aging. 110 16th St. Number 200. Denver, Colorado 80202-4147. 303-620-4147. 303-866-3851. Fax 303-620-4191. state.co.us/gov_dir/human_services_dir/aas/index.htm. cdhs.state.co.us/oss/aas. Connecticut State Agency for the Aging. 25, Sigourney St. 10th FL. Hartford, Connecticut 06106. 860-522-4636. 860-566-7772. 800-443-9946. Fax 203-424-4966. dss.state.ct.us/svcs/elderly.htm. District of Columbia State Agency for the Aging. 441 4th St. Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-724-5626. Fax 202-724-4979. dcoa.dc.gov. ci.washington.dc.us. Delaware State Agency for the Aging. 1901 North DuPont Highway. Newcastle, Delaware 19720. 800-223-9074. 302-577-4791. Fax 302-577-4793. state.de.us/govern/agencies/dhss/irm/dsaapd/duaama.htm. Florida State Agency for the Aging. 4040 Esplanade Way. Building B152. Tallahassee, Florida 32399-7000. 850-414-2000. Fax 904-414-6216. fcn.state.fl.us/doa/doa.htm. fcn.state.fl.us/ddea. Georgia State Agency for the Aging. 2 Peachtree St. Northwest. 36th FL. Number 385. Atlanta, Georgia 30303. 404-657-5258. Fax 404-657-5285. state.ga.us/departments/dhr/aging.html. dhr.state.ga.us. Hawaii State Agency for the Aging. 250 South Hotel St. Number 109. Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. 800-468-4644. 808-586-0100. Fax 808-586-0184. state.hi.us/health/EOA. Idaho State Agency for the Aging. State House. 700 W. Jefferson. Number 108. Boise, Idaho 83720. 800-377-1363. 208-334-3833. Fax 208-334-3033. state.is.us/icoa. idahoging.com. Illinois State Agency for the Aging. 421 Capitol Avenue. Number 100. Springfield, Illinois 62701. 800-252-8966. 217-785-2870. Fax 217-785-4477. state.il.us/aging. Chicago. 217-785-4477. Indiana State Agency for the Aging. 402 West Washington St. Number W454, POB 7083. Indianapolis, Indiana 46207. 317-232-1147. 800-545-7763. Fax 317-232-7867. State.in.us. in.gov/ai/social. Iowa State Agency for the Aging. Clemens Building, 3rd FL. 200 10th St. Des Moines, Iowa 50309. 515-281-4646. 800-532-3213. Fax 515-281-4036. State.ia.us/elder affairs. Kansas State Agency for the Aging. New England Building, 503 S. Kansas. Topeka, Kansas 66603-3404. 800-432-3535. 785-296-4986. Fax 785-296-0256. k4s.org/kdoa/default.htm. Kentucky State Agency for the Aging. CHR Building, 5th FLW. 275 East Main St. Frankfort, Kentucky 40621. 502-564-6930. Fax 502-564-4595. 800-372-2991. cfc-chs.ch.state.ky.us/cfachome.htm. chs.state.ky.us/aging. Louisiana State Agency for the Aging. POB 80374. 4550 North Boulevard, 2nd FL. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806. 800-259-4990. 504-925-1700. Fax 504-925-1749. State.la.us/departments/elderly.htm. New Orleans 504-821-4121. Maine State Agency for the Aging. State House, STA 11. 35 Anthony Avenue, Augusta, Maine 04333. 888-720-1925. 207-626-5335. Fax 207-624-5361. State.me.us/bios. me.state.us/dhs/bios. Maryland State Agency for the Aging. State Office Building, 301 West Preston St. Number 1004. Baltimore, Maryland 21201. 800-243-3425. 800-338-0153. 410-225-1102. Fax 410-333-7943. mdoa.state.md.us. umd.edu/state/md_resources/OOA/index.html. State Agency for the Aging. Massachusetts State Agency for the Aging. 1 Ashburton PL. 5th FL. Boston, Massachusetts 02108. 800-882-2003. 617-727-7750. Fax 617-727-9368. State.ma.us/elder. Boston 617-635-3993. Michigan State Agency for the Aging. POB 30676. Lansing, Michigan 48909. 517-373-8230. Fax, 517-373-4092. State.mi.us. meseniors.net. mass.iog.wayne.edu. Detroit. 313-567-8800. Minnesota State Agency for the Aging. 444 Lafayette Road. St. Paul, Minnesota 55155. 800-882-6262. 612-296-2770. Fax, 612-297-7855. dhs.state.mn.us/aging/default.htm. mnaging.org. Mississippi State Agency for the Aging. 750 North State St. Jackson, Mississippi 39202. 800-948-3090. 800-345-6347. 800-222-7622. 601-359-4925. Fax, 601-359-4370. mdhs.state.ms.us/aas.html. Missouri State Agency for the Aging. 615 Howard Court. Pub 1337. Jefferson City, Missouri 65109. 800-235-5503. 800-392-0210. 800-735-2966, TDD. 573-751-3082. Fax, 573-751-8493. state.mo.us/dss/da/da.htm. dss.state.mo.us. Montana State Agency for the Aging. State Capitol Building. Capital STA. Number 210. Helena, Montana 59620. 406-444-5900. 800-332-2272. Fax, 406-444-7743. dphs.mt.gov/huat/sltc.hdm. dphs.state.mt.us/sltc. Nebraska State Agency for the Aging. Pub 95044. 301 Centennial Mall South. Lincoln, Nebraska 68509. 800-942-7830. 402-471-2306. Fax, 402-471-4619. hhs.state.ne.us/ags/agsindex.htm. Nevada State Agency for the Aging. 340 North 11th St. Number 114. Las Vegas, Nevada 89158. 800 HDNA at 775-486-3545. Fax, 775-486-3572. aging.state.nv.us. New Hampshire State Agency for the Aging. 115 Pleasant St. Annex Building 1. Concord, New Hampshire 03301. 800-351-1888. 800-852-3345. 603-271-4680. Fax, 603-271-4643. state.nh.us/dhs/ofs/ofscsdlc.htm. New Jersey State Agency for the Aging. 101 South Broad St. Pub 807. Trenton, New Jersey 08625. 800-792-8820. 609-292-3766. Fax, 609-633-6609. state.nj.us/health/senior/sraffair.hdm. New Mexico State Agency for the Aging. La Villa Rivera Building. 228 East Palace Avenue. Santa Fe, New Mexico 87501. 800-432-2080. 505-827-7640. Fax, 505-827-7649. nmaging.state.nm.us. New York State Agency for the Aging. 2 Empire State Plaza. Albany, New York 12223. 800-342-9871. 800-662-7030. 518-474-5731. Fax, 518-474-0608. aging.state.ny.us. New York 212-577-0800. State Agency for the Aging. North Carolina State Agency for the Aging. 693 Palmer Drive. Caller Box 29531. Raleigh, North Carolina 27626. 800-662-7030. 919-733-3983. Fax, 919-733-0443. dhhs.state.nc.us/aging. North Dakota State Agency for the Aging. 600 South 2nd St. Number 1C. Bismarck, North Dakota 58504. 800-755-8521. 800-472-2622. 701-328-2577. Fax, 701-328-5466. state.nd.us. Ohio State Agency for the Aging. 50 West Broad St. 9th FL. Columbus, Ohio 43215-5928. 800-282-1206. 614-466-5500. Fax, 614-466-5741. state.oh.us/age. Oklahoma State Agency for the Aging. 312 Northeast 28th St. POG 25352. Oklahoma, Oklahoma 73126. 800-211-2116. 405-521-2281. Fax, 405-521-2086. state.ok.us. okdhs.org. Oregon State Agency for the Aging. 500 Summer St. Northeast. 2nd FLN. Salem, Oregon 97310. 800-282-8096. 800-232-3020. 503-945-5811. Fax, 503-373-7823. sdsd.hr.state.or.us. Pennsylvania State Agency for the Aging. Market St. State Office Building. 6th FL. 400 Market St. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17101. 717-783-1550. Fax, 717-772-3382. aging.state.pa.us. Rhode Island State Agency for the Aging. 160 Pine St. Providence, Rhode Island 02903. 800-322-2880. 401-277-2858. Fax, 401-277-3389. dea.state.ri.us. South Carolina State Agency for the Aging. 400 Arbor Lake Drive. Number B500. Columbia, South Carolina 29223. 803-253-6100. 800-868-9095. Fax, 803-737-7501. leginfo.state.sc.us. dhhs.state.sc.us. South Dakota State Agency for the Aging. 700 Governors Drive, Pierre, South Dakota 57501. 605-773-3656. Fax, 605-773-6834. state.sd.us/asa. Tennessee State Agency for the Aging. 500 Dederick St. Andrew Jackson Building, 9th FL. Nashville, Tennessee 37243. 800-848-0299. 615-741-2056. Fax, 615-741-3309. state.tn.us/comaging. Texas State Agency for the Aging. 4900 N. Lamar, Austin, Texas 78751. 800-252-9240. 512-444-2727. Fax, 512-440-5290. tdoa.state.tx.us. Utah State Agency for the Aging. POB 45500. Salt Lake City, Utah 84145. 801-534-3910. Fax, 801-534-4395. dhs.state.ut.us. hsdaas.state.ut.us. Vermont State Agency for the Aging. 103 South Main St. Waterbury, Vermont 05671. 800-642-5119. 802-241-2400. Fax, 802-241-2325. dad.state.vt.us. Virginia State Agency for the Aging. 1600 Forest Avenue, Number 102. Richmond, Virginia 23229. 800-552-4464. 804-225-2271. Fax, 804-371-8381. aging.state.va.us. Washington State Agency for the Aging. POB 45050. Olympia, Washington 98504. 800-422-3263. 360-493-2500. Fax, 360-438-8633. dshs.wa.gov. state.wa.us. West Virginia State Agency for the Aging. 1900 Kanawha Boulevard East, Building 10. Charleston, West Virginia 25305-0160. 304-558-3317. Fax, 304-558-0004. state.wv.us/senior services. Wisconsin State Agency for the Aging. 217 South Hamilton St. Number 300. Madison, Wisconsin 53703. 608-266-2536. Fax, 608-267-3203. dhfs.state.wi.us/aging. Wyoming State Agency for the Aging. Hathaway Building, Number 139. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002. 800-442-2766. 307-777-7986. Fax, 307-777-5340. wdhfs.state.wy.us/aging/index.html Puerto Rico State Agency for the Aging. Cobian Plaza Stop Number 23. FL. Number C. Ponce de Leon Ave. Number 1603. Santurce, Puerto Rico 00908. 787-721-5710. Fax, 787-721-6510. Fortaleza.govpr.org. American Samoa State Agency for the Aging. Government Office. Pago Pago, American Samoa. 96,799. 011-684-633-1251. Fax, 011-684-633-2533. Samoanit.com/ASG. Guam State Agency for the Aging. POG 2816. Agana, Guam 96932. 671-475-0263. Fax, 671-637-0333. admin.gov.gu/pubhealth. Northern Mariana Islands State Agency for the Aging. POG 2178. Saipan, Mariana Islands 96950. 011-670-234-6011. Fax, 011-670-234-2565. Palau State Agency for the Aging. Koror, Palau 96940. 9-10-288, 011-680-488-2736. Fax, 9-10-288, 011-680-488-1662. Virgin Islands State Agency for the Aging. Department of Human SVCs. 19 Estate Diamond, Frederiksted. St. Croix, Virgin Islands 00840. 340-772-4950. Fax, 340-774-3466. Government 6. State Agencies for the Aging 2. Alabama. ADSs.state.al.us, Department of Senior Services. Alaska. AlaskaAging.org, Alaska Commission on Aging. California. Aging.state.ca.us, Department of Aging.